One of the most popular patterns that uses the double crochet stitch is the GrannySquare. So that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. This is from the book that we've been using, 63 Easy to Crochet Pattern Stitches Combined to Make an Heirloom Afghan. This is book number 55 or 555. One of the things that is different about this pattern versus the other patterns that we've been doing is that this is worked in the round, whereas the other patterns have been worked in rows where you go back and forth. So this one starts off with a circle and then you just keep going around and around in circles. We start off with our slip stitch, or slip knot. So if you don't remember how to do a slip knot, you can start off with putting the yarn around the hook and then just yarn over and pull through. That's one of the most popular ways to do a slip knot. There are other ways to do it. If you'd like some other ways, go back and review the slip knot video that I sent out a few weeks ago. Okay, so we're going to start with chaining 4 and then we're going to join with the slip stitch so that we form a ring. Okay. So, chain 1, yarn over, pull through, chain 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3, yarn over, pull through, and that's 4. Okay, and so how we form a ring is we go back to this very first chain that we did. We're going to insert the hook into the first chain. Yarn over and pull through. Okay, and you're going to pull all the way through so that now you have a circle. You have all 4 chains going around each other and then you have a hole in the middle. And that's how you start off by working in the round. So instead of being called rows, it is abbreviated with R&D, that stands for round. We're not actually going to be working back and forth, and so all the stitches will look the same on one side, and if you turn it over, they'll all look like they'll all have the back side. Alright, so round 1 is going to be marked as the right side. Once we get done with round 1, we're going to start off with chain 3, and that's going to count as the first double crochet stitch now and throughout the entire pattern. And that's important to note because when you go to count your stitches, it helps to know whether those chains count as a stitch or not. That way you have the correct count. Then you're going to do 2 double crochets into the ring. We're going to chain 2. And we have a parentheses here. So anytime you see a parentheses or a star or asterisk, that usually indicates a repeating pattern. In this case, they're using parentheses. And the repeating pattern would be 3 double crochets in the ring and then chain 2. And we're going to do that 3 times. So it'll be 3 double crochets in the ring, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the ring, chain 2 for a total of 3. And then we finish out by joining a slip stitch. So to show that, we'll go ahead and do that now. So starting with the chain 3, yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3. So I have my chain 3, and that counts as my first double crochet stitch. And then 2 double crochets into the ring. Yarn over, going to insert into that middle hole. So insert the hook into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole. Make sure you're not going into any of the chains in the hole. All of the stitches should be in that center hole. Yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So I've worked 2 double crochets, but since this first set of chains counts, I have 3 double crochets so far. Okay, so I've done the 2 double crochets in the ring, and now I need to do my chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2. And now we start a pattern. We do this 3 times. So we do 3 double crochets in the ring and chain 2. Okay, so yarn over, insert the hook into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 1 double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that is 2 double crochets, yarn over, insert the hook into the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I have 3 doubles, and I have to chain 2, and that counts as 1 time, so I have 2 more times to do that same thing. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That is my first double crochet of that set. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That is my second double crochet of my second set. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is my third double crochet of my second set, and I need to do 2 chains to finish out that set. So that's twice, and I need to do it 1 more time for a total of 3. So yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet of my third set. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's my second double crochet of my third set. Yarn over, insert the hook into the center hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is my third double crochet of my third set, and I need to do 2 chains to finish out that pattern. And so I've completed this 3 times, and now I need to join with a slip stitch to the first double crochet. I should have 12 double crochet stitches. And if you look at it, our center round is going to look like a square. So that once I join it here, let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to join it at the top of this chain 3. I'm just going to insert the hook into the top of this chain 3. Yarn over, pull through, join it with the slip stitch. So remember, a slip stitch goes all the way through. Okay, and so that completes my first round. I'm going to pull this out a little bit so that you can see what it looks like. This is a granny square, and so you should have 4 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is a set of 3 double crochets on each side. So this would be the length of the square, and this is going to be the corner. As you progress on each round, it's going to be important to note where the corners are, because we're going to work the corners a little bit differently. And you'll see that as we come up through the rounds. Alright, so since round 1 is the right side, you're going to go ahead and loop a short piece of yarn around any of the stitches to mark it as the right side. You could also use a stitch marker. There's a little bit of difference. So all of the stitches that are on the right side are going to look like this. All the stitches on the back side are going to look like this. Not a whole lot of difference. I can show you what the difference looks like once we get another round made. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and mark my stitch marker anywhere on that front side. Okay, so round 2, we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 double crochets, and in the first 2 chain space we're going to chain 3. So each of these corners, that's what has made our 2 chain space. So that's where we're going to be doing our chain 3. So basically we're over here and we're wanting to get over here before we start our next stitch. And so that's why you have to do 2 slip stitches. Slip stitches don't add much height. That's very insignificant for height wise. And so you're just going to insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all the way. Same thing for the next one. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through all the way. Okay, and into the first chain space. So insert the hook into your chain space, yarn over, pull through all the way. So you've done 3 slip stitches to get to the corner. Alright, once you get to the corner, you're going to be doing a chain 3. So yarn over, pull through, that's 1 chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2 chains. Yarn over, pull 3, that's 3 chains. We have our parentheses again, so we're going to be starting a pattern, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. We're going to be doing that in the same space. Okay. That's because the chain 3 counts as a stitch, so that's why we only do 2 at first. So insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, so that's 1 double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you've worked 2 double crochets at this point, but you have 3 because that chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so 3 double crochets. And so we've done the 2 doubles, or we've done the chain 3, we've done the 2 doubles. Now we need to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we work 3 doubles into the same space. So in this particular case, it's not a repeating pattern. This is just letting us know we're doing all that into the same space, and so that's why it's written with the parentheses here. Okay, so yarn over into that same chain 2 space, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to pull this around so that it looks like 3 loops and it doesn't twist my stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, do that again. Yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's 2 double crochets. I need 1 more. Yarn over, insert into that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 3 double crochets. So I've completed now what is in the parentheses. I've done my chain 3, 2 double crochets, my chain 2, and then 3 double crochets into the same space. And so on our following round, you'll see that this ends up being the corner. Okay, and what's this? The chain 1. So yarn over, pull through, chain 1, and then we have our star. So you'll see that this is very similar to what we did here. The reason why it's written separately is because here we started with the chain 3, and that counts as the double crochet, but it's not actually worked as a double crochet, and so that's why they have it separated out. But we're going to be having 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, and then we just keep repeating. We go back to 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, and we're going to keep going around until we get to the last chain 2 space, and then we'll join with a slip stitch. So we're working that pattern into the corner, and then we do a chain in the middle. Once we get to the next round, we'll be working into that chain 1 space here as well as the corners. So on this first round, it's all corners. Every space is a corner. But once we get to the next round, you'll have your corners and you'll have your middle spaces, and they're worked a little bit differently in the terms of how many double crochets you go in. I've already done my chain 1, so in keeping with the pattern, I'm going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space, or into that corner space. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then you chain 2 chains in the corner, and then do 3 more doubles in that same space. Okay, and so in my next corner, you see I have the same thing. I have 2 shells, one that's going on this edge, then I have my chain 2 that I did, and then I have this edge, and it's going to be, we're making a square. So this is the first one we did. We have our 3 doubles, our chain, and our 3 doubles, and so this one goes on this side, and this one goes on this side. When I work up this corner, I have one set for this side, my chain 2 for the corner, and then 3 more for that side. I have 2 more sets to go because I have 2 more chain 2 spaces on that first round. So I'm going to do that same pattern in this corner and the same pattern again in this corner. So we're again on round 2, and first we have to chain 1. You have to chain 1 so that when you get to the next round, you have something to go into for there. Make sure I did say that. Yeah, so after you do your 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and the chain 2 space, you're going to chain 1 and then go back to the star. So you do that again, and then chain 1 all the way around. So I've just done my chain 1, and now I'll go and work into that corner. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next corner, chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for the first double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 double crochets in that corner, and now I need to do 2 chains, 1, 2. So in the next round, that's going to be a corner. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and so now I'm working my other shell for the corner. That's 1 double crochet. I need 3. 2, yarn over, insert, you got 3 on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, and that completes the corner. I need to do my chain 1, and then work my last corner. So 3 double crochets into that corner. 1, 2, 3, and then you do chain 2, 1, 2, and then you do another 3 double crochets in that same hole, in that same chain 2 space, since it is a corner. Okay, and then I need to chain 1. And so if we look at it here, we have round 1 down here where we had 4 sets of 3 double crochets, and we had 4 corners, and each of the corners we've worked 2 sets of 3 double crochets with a chain 2 in the middle. In between each set of 2 we have 1 chain that creates another little hole. When we do the next round, we'll be crocheting into that 1 chain space. So you have a 2 chain space here, a 1 chain space here, 2 chain space here, a 1 chain space here, 2 chain space here, 1 chain space here, 2 chain space here, and then my 1 chain space here. In each of the 2 chain spaces is a corner. Each of the 1 chain spaces is along the row. Okay. So we repeat from star around what you've done, and we joined with the slip stitch to the first double crochet. The first double crochet is that chain 3 that we did at the beginning. So I'm just going to insert the hook at the top of that chain 3, yarn over, pull through, all the way, and that joins with the slip stitch. Okay, that's round 2 completed. With round 3, we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the first chain 2 space. So basically, like we did before, we want to slip stitch all the way until we get to a corner, because that's where we're going to start our first stitch. We always start in a corner. You don't start on top of these stitches here. So we have to do a slip stitch until we get there. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. That's a slip stitch. And the next one, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. That's my second slip stitch. And then I do a slip stitch in the corner. So in this one, we're not going through the top. I'm just going to go through that, under that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. And this is where we're going to start our pattern. Alright, so I've done the slip stitch in the 2 doubles and in the first chain 2 space. I'm going to chain 3 now. Yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3 chains. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space, and then chain 1. Should be very familiar with what we've already done if we count this as 1. So yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 double crochets, 1 worked and 1 as your chain 3. Yarn over, insert the hook into that same chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 double crochets. So you have your chains that counts as 1 and then 2 that you worked. Now we're going to do 2 chains, 1, 2. And so that's the one we just did. And now we do 3 double crochets in the same space. So this is a corner, that's why we have 2 shells in the same space. And that's also why I did 2 chains here, because on the next round this is going to be the corner. The corners are always in the same place. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is my first double on that set. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, That's my second double crochet there. Yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you have your 3 doubles, your chain 2 space, and then your 3 doubles again, just like in the previous row. And this is going to be a corner on the next round. So here we are. This is what we've done so far. So we do that in a chain space. We do a chain 1. So after each set of shells, we do either a chain 1 or a chain 2, depending on where you are. If you're in the middle rows, you're going to chain 1. If you're in the corner, you chain 2. Okay, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, and then chain 1. So as I pointed out before, we're going to be doing a shell. I'm going to call a shell each of these 3 double crochets together. We'll count that as a shell, and we'll do a shell in every single space. So in each of the chain 1 spaces, you're just doing 1 shell. So you're doing 3 double crochets. And after each shell set, you have to chain. How many you chain depends on where you are in the pattern. If the next part is a middle, then you're going to chain 1. If you're in the corner, you're going to chain 2. So we're in the middle. That's why we only did chain 1 here, and now we work a shell into our chain 1 down here. So that's going to be yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. We need 2 more. Yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 double crochets. We need 1 more. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Excuse me a moment, I have a knot in my yarn. Okay. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so now I've worked 1 shell in that chain 1 space. After each shell, you do a chain. And so we are not in the corner, so I'm only going to chain 1. And this is where we are in the pattern. So we've done 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, and then we've chained 1. Okay. It says work shell into the next shell, chain 2 space, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, repeat from star around. In this pattern, they refer to the shell as the 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. And so the way they have it written, a shell would be what you do in the corner. So that would be the 3 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 doubles again. Okay, so we're in the corner now. And so that's where we're going to be working our shell. We're going to be doing 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. Okay, so that's 1. 2, 3 double crochet. You need to do 2 chains, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets in that same space. Okay, and so then we have our corner for the next round will be right here. We've worked this corner here. And after each one that we finish, we're going to do a chain 1. If we were in the corner, we would chain 2, but we're still in the middle, so we just chain 1. Okay, so where we are in the pattern, so it said to work the shell in the next shell, or this is the corner, basically work the corner with this pattern here, which we've done, and then we chain 1, so that's what we've done. And it says to do 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space, and then chain 1. We're going to repeat that all the way around. This is one of those ones that it's easier to learn the pattern by visualization than it is to read it. And once you understand what it wants you to do, it'll be a lot easier and it'll go a lot quicker. So I've done my chain 1. This is in the middle of the work. This is not a corner, and so I'm only going to do 3 double crochets here. So yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. It's 1 double crochet. I need 2 more. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 2 double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I'm done with 3 double crochets, so that's 1 set, and I always chain after each one. So I'm only going to do 1 chain because I'm not in a corner. My next space, however, is a chain 2 space. This is a corner. So in the corners, I need to work 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. In the middle, I just work 3 doubles. Okay, so I'm in the corner now, so I'm going to yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 1 double crochet made. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I have 3 double crochets there in that corner space. Since this is a corner space, again, I need to do chain 2. 1, 2. Okay, and now I need to do 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space since this is a corner. Yarn over, insert the hook into that same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, 1 double crochet made. Do that 2 more times. Okay, I'm more than halfway done with this round. See, that's a corner here. I have a corner down here, and I have my corner down here. So since I just finished 3 double crochets, after each set of 3 double crochets you have to chain. I'm in the middle now, and so I'm only going to chain 1. And my next space is a chain 1 space, so I'm just going to do 3 doubles into that. So yarn over, insert the hook into that chain 1 space, continue your double crochet. By now you should have that stitched down. Okay, so I have 3 double crochets into this chain 1 space here. I just finished 3 double crochets, so after each set of 3 double crochets I have to chain. I'm not in the corner, so I only chain 1. Now my next set, we have this set of 3 and this set of 3 going into the same stitch. So this I know is my corner. That means that this hole is my corner. So I need to chain or double crochet 3, chain 2, and double crochet 3 into all of the corners. So I'll do that now. That's 1, 2, 3 double crochets. After every set of 3 double crochets, you have to chain. Since I am in the corner, I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then when I do my next set of 3 double crochets, they go in that same hole. Yarn over, insert into the chain 2 space, work out your 3 double crochets in that same space. Okay, so you can kind of see it getting bigger. Since I just finished a set of 3 double crochets, again I have to chain after every set of 3. I've finished the corner, so this is not a corner anymore. I'm just going to be doing a chain 1. You only do the chain 2 space in between the 2 sets of double crochets that are in the corner. Every other time you just do a chain 1. Only between these 2 that are in the same one are you going to have a chain 2 space. So I chained 1, and my next space is here. This is a chain 1 space, so I'm only doing 3 double crochets in there. Okay, so I have 3 doubles. Now I need to chain 1, and then I join. So I'm just inserting my hook at the top of this chain 3 space here. Yarn over and pull through all the way. And so now I've joined with a slip stitch. Here's what it looks like so far. We have 1, 2, 3 rounds completed. Okay, rounds 4 through 6. Slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and in the first chain space, just like we've done with every other row. We want to always start in a corner, so I need to do a slip stitch. I insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all the way. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all the way. And then into the chain 2 space and go underneath that, yarn over, pull through all the way. So I've done my 3 slip stitches to get to the corner. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're starting off just like we did every other round. Every round goes this way. Your chain 3 counts as your double crochet, and then you do 2 more double crochets so that you have a set of 3. So I have 3 there. Because this is a corner, I'm going to be doing chain 2. And then 3, my next set of 3 double crochets goes in that same space. This is a chain 2 space here from the previous row. I just did chain 2 up here. Because all the corners will be chain 2, and they all have 3 double crochets, 2 sets of 3 double crochets going into it. So this will be my second set in here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have my first corner completed on the 4th row. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. And follows the same suit. So we did all that in the same space, and then we chained 1. We just finished 3 double crochets, so we have to do a chain. Since this is the middle, we only chain 1. Okay, so you'll notice that with each round, the number of sets that we do in the middle are going to increase. So on the first, when we did the first round, we didn't have any in the middle. It was all corners. When we did the second row, we only had 1 middle space. That was a chain 1. Now we have 2 chain 1 spaces. And as we keep going around, it'll increase. It'll be 3 and 4 and so forth. in this chain 1 space, we're going to be working 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just finished 3 double crochets. I need to work a chain. After every set of 3 double crochets, we have to do a chain. Since I'm in the middle of the row, we're going to just do 1 chain space. This is not a corner, so we just do 1 chain space. And this is my next chain space here, so I'm going to work 3 double crochets into that chain space. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, I have to do a chain. I'm not in a corner, so I'm just going to be doing 1 chain. Now, you'll notice my next space, this is a chain 2 space. So we have to work that shell, the 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, all in the same space, all in the same chain 2 space. This is a corner. If you're wanting to follow the pattern, what we've done so far, so we did that, we did our first corner in the same space, we did a chain 1, and then we did 3 doubles in the next chain space and chained 1 across to the next shell. So in this pattern they're calling the corner a shell. So we have done across, and that's where we are now, at the next shell. Work the shell in the next shell. So what they call a shell is the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have our corner or our shell piece there. After you work the shell, you chain 1, 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space, and then chain 1 across. So always doing 3 double crochets in every single chain 1 space, and then every single chain 2 space you do 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. Do that for every single round. See if I can finish this round to show you what that looks like. And get some more yarn. I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so I finished the shell with 3 doubles. I have to do a chain. A chain separates every set of 3 double crochets. So there's my chain. This is my next space here. This is a chain 1 space, so I'm only going to be working 3 double crochets in this. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oops, I lost that one. Do that again. 3. Okay, when you finish your double crochet, do a chain. Here is my next chain 1 space on this row, so I got to work 3 double crochets in here. Yarn over 3, 1, 2, and 3. So I've done 3 doubles in this chain 1 space, and now I chain 1. Okay, and now look, we're at our end again, our corner. So we have our 3 doubles on this side and our 3 doubles on this side going into the same space. So that's how I know I'm at a corner. That makes this right here a chain 2 space. It means I have to work my shell. So I do 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles into this same space. So go ahead and do that. It's 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2, and then 3 double crochets into that same space again. Okay, so I have my 3, my chain 2, and then 3 all in the same space. So that's my corner, or as they call it in this pattern, a shell. Alright, and we're going to keep doing that all the way around. So since I just finished 3 double crochets, remember you have to do a chain after every set of 3. Whether you do 2 chains or 1 chain, depends on where you are, whether you're in a corner or in the middle of the work. So I've already done my corner, I've already done my chain 2 over here, so this is going to be a chain 1. So chain 1, and then I do 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. That will be here. So everywhere where you see a hole, that's where our chains have been, and that's where you're going to be working your set of 3 doubles. So go ahead and do 3 doubles in there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and after you finish 3 double crochets, then we have to chain. So go ahead and chain 1. Since we're not on a corner, here's my next hole, or my chain 1 space. So this is where I'm going to be working my next set of 3 double crochets. So go ahead and do 3 doubles in there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, finish with 3 doubles. You always have to chain. I'm still not in a corner, so chain only 1. Now, and here's my next space. Notice we have 2 sets of 3 going into the same space. So this is my corner, this is my chain 2 space. So I'm going to be working it like a corner. 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, all in the same space. Go ahead and do 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. And then chain 2, since we're in a corner. And then 3 doubles into that same chain 2 space as the last one. Okay. So I have my corner there. 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, all in the same chain 2 space. That's my corner. Alright, so since I just finished 3 double crochets, I have to chain. Since I'm in the middle, I'm only chaining 1 now. Okay. I have a hole here. I have a hole here. Those are both chain 1 spaces. So I'm going to be doing 3 doubles in here and 3 doubles in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 3 doubles in that next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. And what do you do after you finish 3 double crochets? Don't forget to chain. Chain 1, since we're in the middle of a round, we're not in a corner. After you chain 1, go ahead and do your next set of 3 double crochets into your next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, finish 3 double crochets. Now I have to chain 1. Chain. And that completes the end of that round. I am at the beginning where I started for that round. And so I need to join with a slip stitch at the top of that chain 3 space here. So insert the hook. Yarn over, pull all the way through. All the way through. Okay. Alright, and just like the previous rounds, we need to start in a corner, and I'm not in a corner right now, so I need to do a slip stitch all the way until I get to this corner. So insert the hook underneath the stitch, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. Insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, all the way through, and then into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. So now we're in our corner, and to start, we always start with chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. That counts as my first double crochet. And remember, in the corners we do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So that's my first double crochet, 2, 3 double crochets. After every set of 3 double crochets you chain. Since I'm in a corner, I do chain 2 this time. 1, 2. And then my next set of 3 is going to be in that same space since I'm in a corner. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I finished my first shell of that row. Since I just did 3 double crochets, I have to chain. I'm only chaining 1 since I'm not in the corner now. This is now on the edge. Here's my next chain 1 space. So you see now there's even more chain 1 spaces. I have 1, 2, 3. And it's going to keep increasing in the more rows that I do. As long as you are actually doing your chain 1 space like you're supposed to after each set of 3 doubles, you'll see that it increases. Okay, so I've done my 3 doubles into that chain 1 space. I need to chain 1 now. And I'll work 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, and 3. Finish 3 double crochets. Now chain 1. Alright, and then you can start into the next chain 1 space, doing 3 more doubles. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3. After finishing each of the 3 doubles, chain 1. My next space, I need to work 3 doubles. But you'll notice here, now we're in a corner again. Remember, the corners are different in that you got to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's in every single corner. You have 4 corners in every round. That's not going to change. This is a square. So every single round, you only have 4 corners. Everything else is just 3 double crochets into a chain 1 space. So here, go ahead and do 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. After each set of 3 double crochets, you have to do a chain. Since I am in a corner, this time I'm going to do 2 chains and then 3 double crochets. Since I'm in a corner, those next 3 double crochets are going in the same hole. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and finish 3 doubles, and now I need to chain 1. I'm done with that corner, so this is just 1 after that. I'll be doing 3 doubles here, chain 1, 3 doubles here, chain 1, 3 doubles here, chain 1. And now you should be able to see the pattern and how it goes. It's like this on every round until you make it as big as you want to make it. If you're making this for the Afghan square, it should be approximately 7 inches by 7 inches on both sides. If you are making something else, maybe you're making your own blanket, you can keep going and just make this one giant square. Or you can make a bunch of different squares, different colors, and sew them all together. It's up to you. Be creative. Do what you want to do. Okay, so I've done my chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, and now I'm at my corner again. And so I've already done my chain 1. I'll be doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into that same corner. Every corner is the same. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 double crochets into that same hole. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Since I just finished with 3 doubles, I need to chain. I'm only chaining 1 since I'm not in the corner anymore. That's out of the corner. I've already, my chain 2 was in the middle of these 2, and then everything else is chain 1. So I'll be doing chain 1, 3 doubles in this space, chain 1, 3 doubles in this space, chain 1, 3 doubles in this space. One, 2, 3, and then chain 1, and then we're going to go here, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, I keep losing it, 3. Okay, and then chain 1. And I have one more chain 1 space, so I'll do 3 in there. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1. Okay, and back at my corner. Again, you can tell because you have your a set of 3 double crochets here and 3 here going into the same space, and this right here would be a chain 2. You can see that's one chain, that's another chain, so I have chain 2 here. So again, in the corner you're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 chains, 1, 2, and then 3 doubles into that same hole, so you can make that turn. 1, 2, and 3, and we're almost there. We have just one last bit to go before we get to the beginning where we started. Okay, so I'll be doing chain 1, 3 doubles into this chain space, chain 1, 3 doubles into this chain 1 space, chain 1, 3 doubles into this chain space, and then we'll be joining with this slip stitch at the beginning. Okay, so I just finished with my 3 doubles. I need to chain 1, and then do 3 doubles into this chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I need to chain 1, and then you work 3 doubles into the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, and then I have one more space here. I need to do 3 doubles in there. 1, 2, 3, and always finish off with a chain 1. Okay, I have no more spaces, no more chain spaces that haven't been worked, so I'm at the end of my round, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch at the top of my chain 3 that I worked at the beginning of the round. You just insert your hook into the top of the chain 3, yarn over, pull through, all the way through. Okay, and so that has been joined. Go ahead and zoom out so that you can see the whole square. If I wanted to check my gauge to see if I needed to do another round, I'm just going to pull out my ruler. Okay, I probably could do another round if I were doing 7-inch squares. My other squares that I've done, so my gauge tends to be smaller than most. I can do all my squares in this size and that could be fine. But if I were doing all 7-inch squares, I would need to do another round for it to be the height that I need it to be. Okay, and so again, if you're doing the Afghan squares, just measure it and make sure it's approximately the size as your other squares. And if not, you could just keep going around and around and around in the same pattern until it's as big as you want it to be. Or you can do squares of your own size. You could even stop at row 2 or round 2 or round 3 and have a bunch of tiny squares together and make your own pattern that way. Completely up to you. Be creative. This pattern is very versatile. You can search this on other YouTube channels as well. If you're going to search for the Granny Square, make sure you search for classic Granny Square. There are a lot of variations, so this is the classic version. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions. See you guys next week.